How's everybody doing? Just chilling on the front porch swing, relaxing after a busy Memorial Day weekend. Feel free to drop your links. Just chilling out there, Aiden. Just relaxing, decompressing, watching the sunset. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day. How about you? That's awesome. I'll make sure I get over to your channel and check it out. It's usually about this time of the day I start to see the deer. I have another channel. It's called Color My World. All one word, all together. And it's a nature live stream. I have a pretty cool camera set up and we feed the deer. We got to work on that. Got to start building up some videos. You'd be amazed what people get interested in. What kind of stuff interests you, Aiden? Techie. That's myself. I'm into photography. Definitely like computers and cameras, all kind of sports and whatnot. So this channel, my channel, usually it's just um, reviews of different tech stuff and live streams of live events. All right, Stardashians in the house. How you guys doing? You guys are definitely grinders, man. It's going well. Just decompressing. I was just saying, after a long Memorial Day weekend, spent the weekend with my kids playing travel baseball. I have twin boys that are 11 years old. We were down in West Virginia, coming from Pennsylvania, West Central Pennsylvania. So Aiden, you design games. That's pretty high level, buddy. Oh, jeez. Customers are being cheap. Man, the economy right now is rough for sure. Where are you guys from? Cole, Wisconsin. 2D Mario game. My kids would definitely like that. My one boy played Mario Brothers the whole way out and back, well, the whole way down and back from West Virginia. We were down in Bridgeport, which is a little south of Morgantown, where West Virginia WVU is. Make sure you guys drop your links if you're here. Comment, I'll turn you into a wrench. Yeah, the northeast central, that whole corridor is pretty interesting. Such a nice evening. No wind. We've been getting a lot of rain, tons of rain. This past weekend, though, it's been pretty nice. Thank you. It took us a long time to get things this way. We bought the property, it was completely wooded. It's about 30 acres on the side of a hill. But actually, we're really close to civilization also. It looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, but if I wanted to walk to a Burger King, I could do it probably in about 10 minutes. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, it definitely was worth it. We bought the property back in around 2005 and then built the house in 2006. Um, People thought we were crazy. I actually thought I was crazy. I should have wrote a book. Or if YouTube was around back then, which it might have been, but I wasn't on there, should have documented it. It was quite a process. A lot of learning went into it. Hey, Chris. Just here doing something a little bit different. That's it. I do zero hunting up here. My older son used to hunt, but I maybe went a couple times with him, but that's it. There's the deer are very I don't want to say domesticated, but they're very friendly. They know they're safe around here. Oh, Chris, it's a wonderful day here. You know, we've been getting a lot of rain, tons of rain. Oh my gosh. And then starting, I think it's actually tomorrow night, we're due for more rain for the rest of the week. May is such a hit or miss month. I've seen it snow. I remember went to a baseball game May 11th, the one year, and on the way back home, it snowed. I'm sure you guys are used to that up there in Canada. You got to talk your dad out of hunting. Oh man, yeah, I never really grew up a hunter, but when I got up here, I my son wanted to hunt, so I decided I had to go out there and sit with him. Never really, I never really had the opportunity, I guess, to shoot some things. Just never did. I love having the animals here. My kids love it. Such a I don't know, definitely educational. Huh. First Blue Jays game, yeah. Played in the snow. Yeah, I can't even imagine Wisconsin. I can't even. Yeah, you're up there in Ontario, right, Chris? That is like amazing. The amount of snow you guys get. And we get it here, not as bad as we used to, but we get it. We get crazy days though, where I'll wake up and there'll be 6 inches of snow, and by the time I get home from work or whatever, it's completely melted. Wow, 5 feet of snow. Good Lord. Yeah, that's a lot of people comment how deer must be moving through. I hear the ring set up in the back camera. I can hear them ringing. They must be coming in. Um, yeah, a lot of people comment on how green and lush it is here, and it really is. And it's still cool. I mean, right now I think it's around 60 degrees, but eventually it'll dry out, and all that green, that big green field out front here, it'll start to turn. It'll start to yellow up. So I'll enjoy it while I can. Yeah, I could go to school if it was snowing for the week. Yeah, we get a lot of ice and stuff here, and the roads get covered, and they have a rough time even getting that off. It's like driving on a through the woods. Pennsylvania is beautiful. Lots of hills, especially where we are. And that's, I mean, we're in Johnstown, which is, if you look it up on the map, it's about 70 miles east of Pittsburgh. So we're between Pittsburgh and we're about an hour away from, I would say, State College. So Penn State, if anybody's a Penn State fan. Yeah, positive pokes in the house. Johnstown. I have to do, I'll take positive pokes. I'll have to do a live from Advance Auto for you. That's funny. How was the parade today? I was in there when you were waiting for it. Did it turn out okay? Philly's a whole different, Philadelphia is a whole different animal, man. Actually, once you get past, I'll say, a little bit, you start traveling east of where we are, which, like I said, we're about 70 miles east of Pittsburgh. You go about another 40, 50 miles, you go through these big tunnels that are through the mountains. And then once you get through the tunnels, you end up getting into farm country, and it's pretty flat, actually, once you get out that way, until you get up into like the Poconos up there towards New York. I have not. I haven't been to the Poconos. I was going to take the kids up to that Great Bear Lodge, I think it is, that's up there, but we never did it. I know I have some family that like to go to the races, and they were up there. They'd go up to the Poconos for there's a NASCAR race they have up there. You mean me, Pokes? Got that Pittsburgh accent. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the incline is pretty crazy. Actually, it's closed right now. It's been closed for the last couple of years. They had to make some kind of big gear or something for it. I guess that's not something you can order online. But yeah, we have the steepest vehicular incline plane in in the world. Just starts down in the valley in Johnstown and runs up the hillside up into what's called Westmont. And when they did that, um, when they put that in there, What was happening is people who were working down in the city, it's actually the incline plane's big enough that you can drive a car in there and it'll take the car up, up the hill. I don't know the statistics on it, but they made that so that the people that were working there could ride that up into the what was called Old Westmont, which was where all the mill bosses from the Johnstown steel mills where they lived. Exactly, like an escalator. It's a little spooky, man, but interesting. Yeah, we've ridden that tons of times. As a kid, we'd ride our bikes down the hill and then get on the incline and ride it up the hill, get back on and go back around. It was like for us, it was like a ski slope kind of thing. It's pretty cool. Right now, they have this friends of ours. They put in mountain biking trails down that hill, if you can imagine that. And part of that was they ride the bikes down the hill, then they take the incline back up, and then ride them back down. Oh man, and you'd have to look that up, but it's called the incline plane. And if you look up Johnstown, Johnstown, you'll see it. It's like it's basically like a car that or like a train that rides up the side of the hill, um, up the side of the mountain. It's just it's very very unique. Pittsburgh has one. Yes, for sure. We definitely have a lot of weird things in Pennsylvania. We got a lot of hills, a lot of skiing. It sort of is. It's more like it's on a track like a train, and it has a platform that goes out, sort of a 90-degree out platform and down, and then has giant cables that pull it up the hill. And what they had to replace was one of the big gears that that actually turn to bring the cable up and bring the car up. Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Where I live is it's near the top of the incline plane. So if you think down that hill, I mean, I forget what the elevation is here, but it's pretty interesting. And I'd say it takes about 4 or 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes maybe to get to the top. The one in Pittsburgh isn't quite as steep or long, but that's a beautiful view. The Duquesne, yeah, the Duquesne incline. I've never been on that one. You'd be fine. You wouldn't be terrified. You'd be good, Aiden. It's a great view. That's what it actually reminds me of, one of those big kind of gondola ski lift things. But instead of it just hanging from the cable, it's riding on the track and getting pulled up the track. It's kind of cool. You asked about the Flood Museum, folks, and it's Flood Museum is a pretty nice little little stop. It's interesting. You know, when you look into it, you were talking the one time I was on your channel and you were talking about Johnstown and the floods, you know, because we did it. We had three major floods. It was 1889, 1936, 1977. And the uh, the Flood Museum, you learn actually a lot of the backstory. I believe it was the 1889 club, which was out in South Fork. These people, they were, you know, it was a where all the high rollers, the rich people, hung out, and they had a big dam out there, and they knew something was wrong with it, but they didn't want to spend the money on fixing it or whatever it was, and they were warned about it, but they figured they didn't really care. And when we had that big storm, the dam broke, and that's up on the hill, and all the water, if you can imagine, over the hillside where we're looking, all the water just rushed down through, um, through the channels down into the valley. And the city of Johnstown sits in the valley, and there's rivers that run through there, and it was a wreck. I mean, the water was over 20 some feet deep, um, in the valley. Yes, exactly. They didn't believe it. Yep, the melons all tied back to Pittsburgh. Hey, corner clubhouse in the house. Yes, he did. That's all part of that story. There's like a movie, the little movie theater in there, and they'll it's really well done. I can remember when I was a kid. I'm that old. 1977, my church, which was down in a place called Cambria City, which was is down right near the city, not near the downtown of Johnstown, but anyway, Cambria City there. I can remember going down to the church with my parents and having to shovel the mud out of our church. It was unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know the exact history behind it all, but that's it. There was something wrong with it, and that was the place where they had all their recreation. The boats, fishing, swimming. That was the main cause of the flood. Yep. Well, I mean, besides the rain that we got. Yeah, out in South Fork there, the South Fork Dam. Yep. You can walk the trails and stuff, and there's the overlook. They show you, the path of the water. I mean, a lot of the damage came because we had these stone bridges, which were uh, from the railroad that ran through, and as stuff got washed down into the river, that all backed up, and it just turned into a big wall of water. Mm-hmm. Top five richest people, the 1900s. I say, truly, how you doing? Heinz, Mellon, and Carnegie. What was the other one? Frick? So Eliana. Okay. The Hatfields and McCoys, the Fricks and the Carnegies. Man, there's such a rich history. Pittsburgh, this whole area. LA day's going good, just winding down. This is my way to decompress, sitting on my front porch looking out over the mountain. What part of Pittsburgh are you in, Pokes? 10 Hills. Nice. Thanks, Eliana. Appreciate that. Sometimes I take it for granted, but I sit out here a lot, relax, listen to the birds, watch the clouds move. And my one son is a history buff, loves history. He probably knows more about the stuff than I do. I was a math teacher. If you could believe that. That's that techie side of me. Homestead is definitely haunted. I don't know. I've been up here for almost 20 years now. We built the house in 2006, and what I want to see come out of the woods is a Sasquatch. Sounds crazy. Who was in the parade? Sasquatch. People think I'm nuts. I wish I could see something like that. We have that nature live stream, and I'm waiting. I still haven't seen like a bear. I mean, we've seen, all kind of birds, deer, raccoons, skunks. I've seen foxes, but no bear. Mothman. Looks like the beef jerky Sasquatch. The good stuff. I don't know. I don't know much about the Mothman. Have to look at it. West Virginia Mothman. Yep. And we were just down there this weekend, down in Bridgeport. Man, I saw a really cool truck. I did a video on, and it was the Wreaths Across America. I talked to the driver and their mission. What a cool looking vehicle that was. Statue of the Mothman. What do you do now, Pokes? I've been seeing the Wienermobile around here. We actually, I don't get it. Like I don't know if it goes out to Altoona, which Altoona, they have the AAA, or no, it's the AA Altoona Curve baseball team. Oh, that's right. I remember you saying you were a bus driver. Was a clean wiener. Was it a fast wiener? Ah, the race. I've seen I've seen the Wienermobile several times. Actually, in a right out in well, it'll be right between Pittsburgh and Altoona, but Evansburg. Yeah, the Steelers definitely do not have a QB. How do you feel about Pickens? Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely much cheaper. Do you get to any Steeler games at all? Oh, we've been all over the place, Aiden. Start talking about Sasquatch. Do you have any Sasquatches up there in Wisconsin? Yeah, that is I think a lot of times people look at the big names and they're looking for the big name quick fix quarterbacks. Yeah, I fell off the wagon with the Penguins for some reason. I was really focused on them, focused on the Penguins back in in the '90s. We had those Stanley Cups, but I don't know. I guess as my kids started to grow up and stuff, it just didn't have the time. Yeah, I definitely baseball is definitely my number one. Are you a sports fan at all, Aiden? I think what I like about baseball is there's no, for the most part, I mean, they're trying to make it that way, but I like that there's no time limit. It's at the pace that it's at, and that's what it is. But now with those, with the clocks or whatever, and the, um, what's it called, disengagement. Changes things a little bit, moves it along. But I like that it can be, you can have a 2 hour game, you can have a 5 hour game. And I can remember the Pirates playing games where I started watching it at 1 o'clock and it was still on at 8 o'clock at night. Yes, they did. We had a tournament. Like I said, we were down in Bridgeport. My twin boys were playing baseball, and the game went to extra innings. They played one normal extra inning, and then they did this crazy thing called a Texas shootout, which basically what it meant was you had the last three people that got up to bat were put on first, second, and third, and the batter came up to bat with a count that was 2-2. I never heard of it before, and we were the home team. We went through actually trying to think how when we only went through one inning like that, we actually ended up winning the game. But I never heard of Texas shootout. Load the bases, batters up at the plate, count is 2-2. And how we ended up winning, kid threw a ball, so it was 3-2 full count, and they ended up walking him. Next pitch was a ball. Ended up winning like that. I don't like it. I'm much more old school. Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, it wasn't that long ago. I think maybe like 5 or so years ago. I was watching a game. It was a 1 o'clock. It was a Sunday. It was a 1 o'clock game. It was on. I had to go to my son. My son had a makeup baseball game. Went to that game. Came home and the game was still on. I forget how many innings they ended up playing. The Pirates when we stay from school. Yeah, for sure. I'm not holding my breath right now. That's for sure. Oh yeah, the late game exactly. You could stay up and then stay over from school, but only if they won. I remember you saying that in your live stream, Pugs. Hey, tell them the truth, man. I'm sure there was nobody in school that day. The Penguins kicked serious ass back then. Good God. He thought he skipped school every. Dad, is it that day we skip school? And it's towards the end of the year. We go to that parade. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Aiden. I don't know if I'll be here. I'm going to be jumping off because I got to get the kids wrangled for school tomorrow. You must have turned your speakers down or something, buddy. Well, folks, I think I'm going to roll. I'm going to shut it down. Thanks for stopping. Thanks for bringing up some of that content, man. I'm gonna have to check on that flood stuff, the history, a little more. But I appreciate it, and I'll be checking you out soon. Okay, bud. You take care. Yeah, and it won't happen again. That's I back when I was a kid. You know, I'm 56 years old, so I was born in '69. But anyway, I thought the Steelers automatically were just in the Super Bowl every year. So I can understand where he was coming from. I think my dad had to explain to me, yeah, that's not how it is. They're just really good. All right, man. Eliana, if you're there, I will talk to you later. Pokes, see you later. Aiden, thanks for stopping in. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.